Diggin' It with Eric Richey is brought to you by Range Fit, the hydration your body deserves. White Sands Beach Volleyball Complex and Seeger Sandbar. H-Worth Elevator Service, serving Louisiana and Mississippi. K. Miller Gem and Jewelry, specializing in loose gemstone and fine custom-made jewelry. And by Allstate agent Greg Bravata. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Diggin' It with Eric Richey. We are so glad you've joined us. Unbelievable. It's our 8th episode of season 2 of this show. And as always, we have got content galore on the volleyball scene, not only on the high school ranks, some great college stories this week. We're going to hear from some beach volleyball college coaches on what they think of fall beach volleyball. And as always, a couple of milestones and commitments to get to at the end of the show. But as we do each and every week, we begin with high school volleyball, which is brought to you by Greg Bravata, Allstate agent, offering home, auto, and life insurance, and also good details on retirement. Also, Range Fit. You see them here on the set. It's the hydration your body deserves. They come in the packets. They come in the powder. They're all over the set here on Diggin' It with Eric Richey. You see them on both sides here. Range Fit, the purple bag right there has a bunch of the powder things. You literally can just take a water, take the cap off, pour in that powder, mix it up, and you've got some great stuff for your hydration that your body deeply deserves. So, high school volleyball, as you know, this entire season, as the regular season has come to an end, we try to go to a tournament or a big matchup during the week, something to just kind of dive in a little bit deeper. So for the past several years, I've seen the pictures on social media of the season-ending tournament at ESA Spooktacular. All the great, fantastic costumes, teams and coaches, just go the full nine for that Saturday final day. They actually play in these costumes. It's unbelievable. So I wanted to check it out firsthand because Mount Carmel, right? I'm a dad of a Mount Carmel player who graduated this past year. So I haven't been, Emma played varsity 4 years and we just kind of went with wherever Mount Carmel went. So I got to go this year. Sarah Robichaux really invited me once we were at the Lady Lion Classic in Houma, at the very end of the first month of the season. She goes, hey, you might want to just come out and, maybe stream it, but just check it out for sure. So we weren't able to get everything in place to stream the tournament this year, but I'm going to tell you what, I got to go and I saw what ESA head coach Sarah Robichaux was talking about. It was a fantastic environment, not just the costumes. The play was intense on both courts. Really, there were 3 courts. Another gym was set up as well, but it was intense volleyball. Great costumes, but outside there was such a great vibe. They had a DJ, some live music at times, food and concessions all over, skeletons and Halloween decorations all over. ESA and Coach Sarah deserve a ton of credit. That was a first-class tournament I got to see, and now I want to let you see some of the costumes and the great play from this past weekend's regular season and the Spooktacular Tournament. Gold Division semifinals, Westminster Christian Academy. League of their own. Is that Tom Hanks and Gina Davis? No, it's Keith and Tanya Leon. Facing Dominican, Jessica Chatelier as Tinkerbell. Well done on both sides. Great match. London Pickney with the block for WCA, and the Crusaders go up 21-17 in the opening set. Let's go to set point, and it's Layla Gaucher, a powerful swing. Back corner, it's in. Westminster takes set 1, 25-23. Amazing defense in this match on both sides. Watch number 22, Kennedy Richard with the up. Sophia Wiltz keeps it alive. Then Izzy Guy, just a phenomenal dig to get it over the net. Dominican would win this point, but a jaw-dropping play needed to be included in the highlights. Caitlin Bird, perfect ball placement for Dominican, who takes set 2, 25-16. Set 3, more great defense. Aurora Tortorich with the up. Then it's Addison Shannon off the tape and on the floor. She's pumped, and why not? That's a great play. Later in the set, it's Aubrey Dalton with not one great up, but 2. and it's Shannon keeping it alive with that lefty one hand. And speaking of lefties, Mally Mahoney, precision for the kill. Dominican led 11-7. Molly Baker with a setter dump, and it's Dominican on to the Gold Division Finals, taking set 3, 15-9. In the other semis, Turling's Catholic. Is that Moana? No, that's Terry Bear and his wife Meredith. Facing Star Wars, that's Gray, a.k.a. Jess Burke, playing for the right to face Dominican in the finals. Rebels playing some good volleyball. Anna Claire Hebert, nice set. Olivia Hebert with the big kill. Turling's with more textbook pass, set, kill. Ava Hebert with the honors this time. St. Thomas More came to play, though. You knew they would. The big block from Marvel Poche, and the Cougars led 22-20. Marissa Bilodeau, she's going to go angle, back corner, and St. Thomas More takes set 1, 25-21. Set 2, and again, Rebels looking good. Olivia Hebert with the power display, couple of big hammers to put Turling's to within 3, just trailing 17-14. But St. Thomas More determined. Poche, another big swing, 21-18 Cougars. Then senior setter Aubrey Wheeler, the setter dump on match point. And the Gold Division Finals are set after St. Thomas More takes set 2, 25-21. So it's Dominican and St. Thomas More, and this one featured tremendous defense and long rallies like this one. Aurora Tortorich comes up out of nowhere to keep this rally going. Sensational play. Eventually it would be St. Thomas More's all-state libero, Eleanor Guidry, with the heady push to the open back corner to earn the point. Just some high-level volleyball on display. Later in set 1, more Mally Mahoney. The little lefty packs a serious swing, crushes the kill. It's 17-17. Caitlin Bird, she continued to make big plays. Powerful kill. Dominican led 23-22. But St. Thomas More would rally back and took the set. Here with the great approach from Abby Struther, sophomore middle puts it away. 26-24 the final in set 1. Set 2, and the Cougars played about as good as it gets. Again, Abby Struther, just a hammer. Later, Marvel Poche, hammer time herself, this one from the senior. Another setter dump from Audrey Wheeler. Poche throws up the block, and the momentum train is in full force. Marissa Bilodeau, the push to the back corner, and finally, it's another sophomore. Morgan Dunn puts it away on match point. What a display of volleyball. St. Thomas More takes the Gold Division Finals 25-12.
My team played extremely well together. Did a really good job blocking. Everything's kind of clicking and we're peaking at the right time. So seeing them play as well as they have consistently and having kids perform consistently has been something that we've kind of like been in and out of. But they've been playing so well this weekend and the week leading up to this. So it's really, really good to see.
I feel great. We have been playing well, and this team's really motivated to, get into this next step. But what we've discussed from day one is we're taking it one thing at a time. When we get back in the gym, we've learned a lot about ourselves this weekend, and we're going to try to get in there and adjust some things that we need to adjust. And, we're just looking at that first opponent. And after that first opponent, we'll move from there. So we're just taking it one match at a time.
It's always tough to play STM, but I was proud of, STM's a damn good team. And to lose to them by 3 or 4 points, and with a few errors on our part, says a lot about what we're doing. But I'm proud of our pins. I've been hammering them all year for not putting the ball away. They're finally starting to score points for us, and I think that's obviously going to be the difference for us, and to not be so one-dimensional.
Man, I can't explain it. These girls just played awesome this weekend, and across the board. I can't just throw one of them out there. These girls were. Against Parkview Baptist, we lose that first set, and we come back and win the next 2, and that's a big win for us. And then we come back the next day and beat Edie White, playing almost 9 sets in a row. We go 3 with Dominican and then go 3 with St. Joe. We had a chance to win all the games, and that's all I could ask for. We're preparing for the state.
Now to the Silver Division Finals. Parkview Baptist, Allison Didier Leak, and the Biker Chicks facing Catholic Eye New Iberia. Look over there, that's Gary Westcott, or is that Anton Ego from Ratatouille? Now to some of the play. Yana Times might be the best player in the state. She's certainly in the conversation here with the big block. She's got plenty of help though. Marin Price, couple of line shots just in, and some big-time points for Parkview Baptist. Amelie Trappe scoring with the back row attack here. She's such a good player for the Panthers. But Parkview Baptist, they're one of the hottest teams in the state. Yana, another big block here, and shows the reaction. A lot of emotion here for Parkview Baptist. They may have lost in the first day, but they finished with momentum, taking the silver bracket. Aiden Polk to Ami Golick, and the 8th grader puts it away. Parkview Baptist wins the silver division in 2.
And maybe we needed to be humbled after, the few weeks that we've had of playing good volleyball. And so if it's going to happen, I'd rather it happen now than happen once we get into playoffs. But it definitely showed us, look, we're not good enough. There are still a lot of things that we need to improve on. So when we came into today, we had already set goals for ourselves with the teams that we were playing, and I thought that for most of the time we were able to execute. We finished well and pretty clean. We didn't have a ton of mistakes. It wasn't perfect by any means, but we don't need perfect.
You got teams like Marksville and Episcopal and Lafayette Christian didn't play this weekend, so they're going to gain a little bit from the wins of their opponents that they beat. But again, you had Pope that played. Notre Dame had some good wins this weekend. So we've been going kind of back and forth with them. So again, it's going to be tough, man. I'm hoping to move up. I'm hoping to have a home game. But honestly, I don't know. But look, I will tell you, 7 through 11, who knows who's going to be who. But I think the top 6 are set.
Okay, before we leave Spooktacular, let's check in with some of the coaches and find out from them more about these costumes.
Well, I think every year, please get all that. I think every year, whatever the Disney Princess theme of the year is, that's our girls. In June, we always introduce the theme for the year. And I think my players have firmly rooted themselves in whatever way that they can get me to dress as a female for Spooktacular. That's what the theme's going to be. It's not going to have anything to do with motivation or anything like that. It's how can we put this dude in a dress.
Really, I really think it was one of our parents' idea and then brought the kids in on it, man. It was just an awesome idea. Everybody thought it was great. I thought it was a great idea, too. Kids loved it. Girls loved it.
Tom Hanks, did you do any research or what did you
I don't know, man. Close, huh? Probably not as handsome as him, though, right?
Well, I think every year the girls try to see how ridiculous they can make me look. And they came up to me and said they want me to be Ego Anton or Anton Ego. I don't even know his name. And I had no idea who it is. Evidently, it's the critic on Ratatouille. So they showed me a picture, and here you go. This is it.
That's pretty good.
So,
I think you nailed it.
Yeah. Well, they wanted my hair to slick back, but it was too short. I told them I couldn't do it. But I did everything else.
So we are Biker Chicks. See, these boots, these combat boots, I got like 5 years ago and was supposed to wear them for when we were here about 5 years ago, and I forgot them at home. So yesterday I saw them still in a box taped up from Amazon, pulled them out and fit perfect.
We are Peter Pan, and we let our seniors decide what we do. So our girls were crocodiles. I'm Peter Pan. We have my Shadow and Tinkerbell.
Well, our theme this year is for Star Wars. State or state not, there is no try is our logo motto. So essentially I'm just wearing Star Wars. I'm Rey from Star Wars. It's our theme for this year. So every year our seniors pick a theme. This year is Star Wars, so we usually dress according to our theme for the Spooktacular.
Theme was Louisiana Saturday night, so we really got after it and Delcom Reeboks on. We had some skeletons cooking some gumbo over there in the sugar kettle, and we just had a good time with it. We are so proud of this event. I mean, it really is one of the best tournaments in the state. It is one of the highest levels. We have a DJ, we kind of keep it really fun, all the teams dress up. So it keeps the last very stressful weekend of regular season play very light.
Man, absolutely great stuff. Great volleyball, great costumes. And you saw many of the top teams in the state. For the final week of the season, it is time for us to unveil our final Power 25. It's the VSN Go Preps Volleyball Power 25, brought to you by K. Miller Gems and Jewelry Brokerage. And 9 voters across the state vote 1 to 25. A first place vote garners you 25 points, all the way down to a 25th place vote gets you 1. These are the end results of the season. Once again, after a couple losses by Mount Carmel, we have a new number 1, St. Michael, a 6-0 week, finishing the season 35-2. 7 first place votes. They're the new number 1 to wrap up this season. Dominican up 1 after a 5-1 week. They beat Mount Carmel and they went all the way to the finals of the Spooktacular. They received 1 first place vote, and so does St. Thomas More. A 6-0 week by the Cougars. They beat Dominican in the finals of Spooktacular, as you just saw. They move up 3 spots. They get that other first place vote as well, and we're going to be joined by Coach Jessica Burke in just a minute. Mount Carmel dropped 2. Terrible scheduling decision, going to Baton Rouge to play Parkview Baptist, one of the top teams in the state, really the hottest team, a day after they played Dominican. So they lose both of those games and they drop 3 spots. Slidell, a pair of Power 25 wins to close out the regular season for the defending Division I champs. They stay at 5. Hannon goes down to 6. They drop 2 spots after that loss to Dunham. Parkview Baptist continues to rise. They go up 2 spots into the 7th position. They lost to Westminster Christian. That was the snapping that 15-game win streak, but they rebounded nicely, won the silver division in the Spooktacular Tournament. Country Day lost to North Shore. They dropped 1. Haynes, they also lost to AOL. Their star player, Marilyn Vaucher, I heard did not play in that game. So they're at 9. Dunham jumps up 2 spots at the 10 position after a 4-1 week, saw them beat Hannon. 11 through 25 look like this. U-High's 4-0 week. They didn't play any Power 25s. They stay at 11. SSA, 2 losses. They dropped 2 spots. North Shore up 1 after the win against Country Day. E.D. White down 1. Westminster Christian up 1. They snapped that long winning streak by Parkview Baptist. They also beat E.D. White. Look at the jump for St. Joe's, up 6 this week after beating 3 Power 25s, won the gold consolation of the Spooktacular Tournament this weekend. John Curtis down 2, just not enough Power 25 opponents. Newman down 1. Fountain Blue down 2. And hey, thanks for that shout out, by the way, Fountain Blue on Facebook. The synchronized swimmers at the Dunham tournament, the skeleton tournament, outstanding effort. Love, love, love. North Lake Christian stays at 20. Turlings Catholic down 2. Dutchtown up 2 after a 6-1 week, saw them beat SSA and Chappelle. Central Catholic stays at 23. Chappelle down 3, lost to the only Power 25 opponent they played this week. CE Bird, they 1 point higher than 35-3 AOL, who's just on the outside looking in of the Power 25. But now we go to Lafayette and bring in the team that made a jump all the way to number 3. Indeed, we head to St. Thomas More and bring in head coach Jessica Burke. Hard to believe, year number 16 at STM right now. Coach, as always, it's a pleasure and honor to have you on the program. Had a chance to see you at Spooktacular. Your team is impressive. And as you just saw in the Power 25, jumped all the way back up to number 3, receiving a first place vote. You guys are playing some great volleyball. Welcome to the program, and how's everything going for you?
Thanks for having me. Everything is really good. Yes, it's always nice to finish the last week of the regular season playing as well as we were. So yes, I'm excited to be here.
We just showed the highlights as well. And your answer was you have a love-hate relationship with the Spooktacular, because in years past, you've gone in undefeated and you've suffered a loss, maybe in the gold finals. This year, just the opposite. You sweep through the gold bracket. You win the finals in a really nice match, 2-setter against Dominican. But that just kind of is on the back end of what you guys have been doing really for the last month. You've won 12 straight. Is this team playing as good as you would like as you head into this postseason?
Definitely. I think that one of the big things this last week is we've had kids who have been performing really well kind of in spots, but then, we haven't been able to really consistently perform together where we're all playing a good game together at the same time. So that has really started to happen in this past week, where we're just turning in more consistent performances and doing less of the unforced errors and playing with more intent. So when we get all of our girls kind of playing at a steady level, then yeah, the team looks really good. For
You
sure.
know, we're looking at some highlights here, and just kind of talk about some of your players. And we know the Eleanor Guidry's, Marvel Poche, you know, some of the all-state performers. But you, once again, you're returning. You've graduated the Gatorade Player of the Year and several all-state players and several veterans. Tell me about this group and some of the names we need to watch for as you make your way to the Cajun Dome.
Yeah, I mean, we have a good core of seniors this year who have been playing together for a little while. You know, obviously Marvel, Eleanor, Audrey Wheeler, Marissa Bilodeau. But then you also have these talented juniors. I've got 2 of them who continue to get better every game. That's Virginia Blanchard, who's a 6 rotation outside, who has been a libero her whole career. So
Crazy.
we've had her swinging on the for us. And then Mallory Franklin, who has just become a force at the net and continues to get better. You know, we moved her. We had her on the outside pin last year. She played middle and club, and now we have her as an opposite. So she just needed a little time to learn, and she has been playing phenomenal volleyball. And then I've got a really strong group of sophomores. Morgan Dunn is one of them, outside hitter. Claire Thompson, who's running our offense as a second setter. And then you have Abby Strother, who is our other little quick middle.
Yeah, no, all those players you mentioned. I know Strother had a couple of just hammers in the gold finals. I think one on set point in the end of the first set, and just impressive players all the way around. And this is the second time that VSN has really been covering you, very, very strongly when you've graduated a Louisiana Gatorade Player of the Year and others that went on to play college volleyball as well. AC Freilich, when she graduated, I remember I didn't give STM nearly as much credit when I initially voted for them in the Power 25. And ditto this year as you lose Ryan Machado and the Broussards and that group. But you continue to come back year after year. I know your philosophy, 16 years ago when you came from the college ranks, right? Coaching, grad assistant at Troy, where you got your master's. You wanted to bring that kind of college environment, fast-paced offense, tempo to St. Thomas More, and you've done that. I guess specifically my question is, how do you reload when you lose that many players? And again, like it's a puzzle, right? You just moved your, a libero to your outside. Now she's a 6 rotation outside. Tell me your philosophy when you lose a lot of talented players that have been with you 3, sometimes maybe 4 years.
Yeah, it's definitely, you kind of look at it, and expect it to be different. It's going to look different, and this year we just kind of fill in. There was one year where we lost, after we lost AC and we lost Addie Ferez, and we ended up running a tri-middle offense because we just could not find, 2 outside hitters. You have kids that are just willing to do what you ask them to, and they really buy in and are willing to play with needs. They're very selfless players. So their trust in me to kind of get us in the best spot to play our best volleyball is high. And so we're able to kind of fill in and create things, I guess.
Yeah, you've been able to create a lot of things, and it's always been fun watching you. And we're so glad that you're a VSN affiliate, because even the games we don't make it to, are still live streamed. Even the freshmen, the JV, and the varsity games streamed on VSN. You've won 4 straight state championships after a 5-peat just a few years back, and I believe you won your very first year in 2010. So if I'm counting, that's 10 state championships. We've got some video from last year's state championship, the final game. What's your philosophy in coaching in the postseason? Is it any different than how you coach during the regular season?
I don't think so. Somebody asked me this question earlier today as well. Does the intensity pick up, or does anything kind of change? I don't think so. I think we play at a really high level, and the expectation. That's so cool seeing that. The expectations for our kids is that we compete every day, that we stay fast every day, that we work hard every day. So we're just kind of keep rolling. I think we get really excited moving into the postseason, because it's this is what we've been working for since we started summer workouts back in June. So I think it's just everything kind of coming to the culmination, is a really exciting, fulfilling feeling. But as far as like changing things or mindset being different, I think we're just kind of steady eddies.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And earlier this season, in the preseason, you tore your Achilles, right? And you had surgery. You were kind of like on a scooter coaching the first half of the season. I noticed when I saw you this weekend, no scooter, no crutches, nothing. You're good. How's your health? And on the back end of that, explain a little bit what you told us about your theme this year, because obviously you dressed up as the Star Wars theme, right? Your assistants and you both full out, decked out. Nice job, by the way. So how are you feeling? And give me the Star Wars theme and how you guys dressed in Spooktacular.
Yeah, tearing my Achilles sucked, because I'm a very hands-on coach, and I'm usually in the mix a lot with them, and demonstrating a lot and things like that. So they told me I wasn't going to be able to get out of the boot for a long time. I didn't necessarily follow all the rules.
I bet you didn't. I bet you didn't.
But it's feeling really good. So shout out to my physical therapist for that. But no, overall, I'm feeling good. I'm actually at home right now because my kids are all sick. So 3 of my 4 kids so that's fun.
Okay. Playing the dual threat there, mom and coach here.
Yeah, but it's all good. But no, I'm doing great, and I'm thankful overall that I'm feeling mobile and can walk and move and get on a box and hit and all that stuff. So that's fun.
That's good.
And then
Star Wars. Yeah, I thought you were Princess Leia. You didn't have this. You had the thing on top, but you kind of look like maybe a Princess Leia type. And then I'm not a Star Wars kind of a guy. I don't have much knowledge, but the assistants were all dressed the same too. And that was, help me out with the theme there. And as you told me after the game, it was a theme that you guys set in before the season even started.
Yeah, we do a theme reveal in August. So like our seniors will pick something, we meet and they pick something in the summer, like in May. And then we kind of work towards revealing it and doing like a little retreat where we reveal the theme. And they chose Star Wars. I think with this class, I had mentioned like when they were freshmen or sophomores, I was like, man, no one's ever done a Star Wars theme. I would love that. So I think that they were just trying to be sweet to me, honestly. Because they don't even know Star Wars. They don't watch Star Wars.
Right.
But basically we battled with like what to call the theme. So we went with state or state not, there is no try. Which is basically like Yoda. He says, do or do not, there is no try. And that's kind of our mindset generally, is just like, just do it. And like, we're not going to try to do it. We're just going to do it. So that's when it comes to like winning state, that's our mindset is like, let's just thing, because we can.
Yes.
So, and then, I love Rey's character. She's a Jedi, but she was like an orphan, and she's Palpatine's granddaughter, but she should be evil, but instead she chose to be a Jedi and kick everyone's booty. So
there you go. So you do have knowledge. You have all this Star Wars knowledge.
I love Star Wars.
The last one I watched at the theater was the first one with Luke Skywalker and those guys.
No way.
I swear to God, I've not seen one since. So I'm like, Princess Leia, right? People are like, oh, you are so 1976 with that one. So anyway, so it was good stuff. And again, we record this show Monday late morning. The brackets have not been released as of yet. The show usually drops Tuesday, so everyone's going to know where everybody is. We obviously assume St. Thomas More will be the number 1 seed in Division II. As you look at the other teams in Division II, and you got to play your rivals, right, in the semifinals of the Gold Division. You played Moana and Coach Terry Hebert. The wig and the dress and the flip-flops, tremendous.
Yeah.
Tremendous. But just give me your take on Division II and St. Scholastica, Sam Houston, those type teams, and Turling's Catholic. I don't want you to, have to say who my biggest competition is, but just paint the landscape, if you would, for Division II.
Yeah, I definitely think there's some strong teams in the mix that have a lot of experience in the state tournament. You have obviously St. Scholastica, who's super well coached. We played them earlier in the year, but they're always defensive, scrappy. And like I said, they're well trained. And you have Academy of Our Lady that's in the mix right there. You have Sam Houston, and Lexi's doing a great job with that team. And they have, the kid, the outside hitter, I forget her name. But she's really good. And then Turlings is obviously playing really good ball right now. They're not an easy opponent to beat either. And then a couple, Ben Franklin and was it Kenner Discovery Health, who I don't know a ton about. Yeah.
Yeah. Got a couple good beach players on that Kenner Discovery team.
Yeah. Is also in the mix. I think that would be who we would possibly, between Ben Franklin and them, we would match up in the quarterfinals with.
Gotcha. Those would be great matchups. And one more back to your season, regular season. You proved you guys were human when you lost a couple games. I think at the Red Sticker was the first. I think maybe lost to Mount Carmel, Dominican, those type teams. But then you kind of went through a couple more losses. Late September, maybe the second week in October, you had all 5 year losses in a bunch there. Can you look back and say what happened during that run? Because some of the losses, I think you lost to Mandeville, maybe Sam Houston. Some of those losses, we would have St. Thomas more favorite. So during that stretch, kind of two-part question, can you explain what happened during that stretch and how you've rebounded to win 12 straight since?
Yeah, definitely. I think early on, like we lost to Mount Carmel and Dominican in 3 sets in the St. Joe tournament. Just so you know, that young team, new core of kids, just kind of believing that they could do that. I think we weren't quite there yet where we believed that we could beat, a big team like that. But we were right there in the mix. We just basically ran out of points in the third sets with both of those. I think that when we lost to Sam Houston on the road, we were just having one of those games where we couldn't buy a point, and that's inevitably happened with every team I've ever had. These are young girls. We play a lot of games. And it was our 3rd game in a row that week. And we had been on the road, twice before that as well. So I think we were just not in our best state of mind for that one. So I definitely understand that. And then we went to Hannon on the second day. I was without one of my co-captains. So we didn't have one of our starters.
Gotcha.
So we put a little freshie in there, and she did a great job for us, but overall she's not the senior that we were missing. So we lost two games when she was out as well. Gotcha.
And what has been the constant or maybe the consistent part of St. Thomas More's game during this recent 12-game win streak?
I think our offense has been playing at a higher level for sure. But it's also something that we've been pouring into in practice. We've always been, I'm a very defensive minded coach, defense, passing. So I've been having to pour a lot more into offense, because we've got young hitters, and then, two setters this is their first year on varsity. So we've been paying a lot more attention to that and kind of giving our hitters more tools. So that's really shown.
Yep. I know I asked you this, and I'll leave you with this. This is the last question for you. I asked you this, I think in the preseason, but I asked you, I remember going back and we just saw some of that video from last year's state championship. But then at the podium, you said, wow, there was pressure. I was saying there wasn't any pressure to 4-peat, but there was. And you felt it and you're like, whew, we did it. So, and I think I followed up with, all right, pressure to 5-peat. So I'll ask you again as we head to the postseason, what type of pressure do those expectations that you set when you win so many state championships, do you feel it this year? Is it there to 5-peat?
I don't think there's been as much pressure this year, just because it's like if we're supposed to be in a rebuilding year. So if we're having a lot of success, then it's like, oh, good job, it's exciting. But like last year, it was like, you better be winning. Look at who you have, you know what I mean? So I know, I think it's a little bit more fun this year when a little bit more pressure is off of us. And we can just kind of succeed and do as best as we can each day, as opposed to you're supposed to win it all. So do it.
Gotcha. Well, you are definitely doing good again. Hooray. It's exciting and it's fun to watch. And you're one of the teams certainly to beat this year at the Cajun Dome as you move forward and make your way there. So you've won 10 state championships, National Coach of the Year, State Coach of the Year, and we wish you the best. Jessica Burke, rebounding from injury this year, lost a bunch of players, and here she is once again, a #1 seed. Best of luck to you. Thank you for your time on the show, and hopefully we'll see you in just about a week or so.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me.
You got it. Best of luck to you.
Right.
Good stuff. All right, time for us to take a break here on Digging It with Eric Richey. When we return, we head to the college ranks. A couple different stories to talk about. LSU picking up a big win against Ole Miss in 5 sets, and a junior college team with many Louisiana references and teams on it, players. They're going to the regional championships and maybe the national championships. We'll explain when this show returns. For all of your insurance needs, call Allstate agent Greg Bravada. Auto, home, life, and retirement, Greg has a plan that's right for you. Allstate agent Greg Bravada, a proud supporter of the area volleyball scene. The Sports Pub and Grill in Destrehan has it all. A great place to watch the game, daily drink specials, and you won't believe the food. From our fresh 10-ounce burgers, fully loaded baked potatoes, and great salads too, like taco salad and grilled chicken. Need something to rinse it down with? How about one of our refreshing daiquiris? A great atmosphere for the whole family. Just a few miles west of the airport. The Sports Pub and Grill, 3001 Ormond Boulevard in Destrehan. Range Fit's premium electrolyte blend elevates the standard in hydration, delivering both incredible taste and powerful effectiveness. Zero sugar or artificial sweeteners. It's the perfect balance of performance and flavor. Go to rangefit.com, use code DIGGIN15 at checkout for 15% off. Welcome back to the program, and want to send a shout out to our good friends of Diggin' It with Derek Richey, H-Worth Elevator Service and installations, commercial and residential, Louisiana and Mississippi. Give that number a call right there on your screen. Ask for Brandon. Tell him that you saw him on Diggin' It with Derek Richey, and they will take care of all your elevator service needs. All right, it's time to dive into the college volleyball scene. We've got a bunch to get to. Okay, let's start with LSU. Had a chance to go to Baton Rouge on Sunday, and this was a big game because playing Ole Miss on the heels of losing to Mississippi State just 2 days earlier, this was important to get the team back on track, to get their focus. Head coach Tanya Johnson did a great job of doing that. This match goes 5 sets. Let's check out the highlights and hear some of the reaction after this one was over. LSU looking to snap a 4-match losing streak. They would have to play from behind. Ole Miss used a 5-0 run to build a 10-3 lead in set 1. Despite a rally from the Tigers that made it a 4-point set, Ole Miss took the opening frame 25-20. Set 2, and LSU would use an 8-1 run to close out the set. Journey Robinson and Nia Washington leading the way. They had 7 kills each on 14 swings. LSU hit 432 in set 2. Set 3, a close one. LSU had to put on its rally caps again, bringing the count to 24-23 after a 4-1 run. But Ole Miss would finish strong to go up 2-1 in this match, winning set 3 25-23. Set 4, and again LSU would have to play comeback. Ole Miss led late, but LSU would force a 5th set with the 26-24 win, ending the frame on a 3-0 run, highlighted by a kill from Robinson and a solo block from right side Cameron Jeffrey. Set 5 started out ugly for both teams. Airs all over the place. LSU used a 5-1 run to take a 12-9 lead. Ole Miss would score 3 of the following 4 points to pull within 1, 13-12. But Robinson lands a kill for a 14-12 lead. And after a Rebel side out, Washington seals the match with a kill for the 15-13 victory.
This is the grit and resiliency that we've shown at times throughout the year, and I think if we can be consistent with that, I think it allows us to do some really special things. And I'm super proud of my team and the way they competed today, and just how they maintain their composure. They could have easily have lost it at the end of set 4, but they just stayed poised and they stayed connected, and they empowered each other. And I think that's what it's all about when you're a part of a team.
So driving to Baton Rouge on Sunday, I realized something was up when I saw the Country Day bus on my way to the PMAC. I'm like, Country Day, Country Day. Then I realized it all came together. It was senior day for LSU, and that meant Nia Washington, who had transferred from Ole Miss, the team that they were playing on that day. So think of all the emotions Nia Washington had going on, the former Country Day star, all-state performer. She had her former team that she had transferred from to go to LSU. It was sentimental because all of her family was there, including her grandmother, thanks to her mom. Good job. They were there watching. Her high school team's there. And she, as you just saw, comes up with the match point kill down the line. We're going to go back and revisit that last match point and then hear from Nia and also hear from head coach Tanya Johnson on what she's meant to the program in just a short time at LSU.
I try not to ride the emotional roller coaster, like you said, with all those things. But I think it's just a big moment of gratitude to look back at my journey with my whole team, but then also where I am now. It's everything I dreamed of when I made the decision to come to LSU. I told my mom I needed my grandmother here, and she made it happen. So I was very happy about that. I'm just very grateful, very, very, very grateful, and then, like I said, very grateful for the dub. So
a lot of emotions, obviously, for Nia with senior day and her old team. Tell me about her performance and the way she ended this thing off.
I mean, Nia had 23 kills tonight and hit 310 on the night, and that's incredible, absolutely incredible. And it's a special day for her, you know, to play in front of her family and play in front of her high school, and just to be in front of the people of Louisiana. And so we are ecstatic to have her here, for her to come here and play in front of her hometown crowd. And it was a special day for her. We'll honor them after I'm done here, but pretty incredible day for her.
One more great college story to talk about. If you remember at the beginning of the year, we went up to Jones College for an away game to do a comeback story for Jency Dowies, a great player from Parkview Baptist who tore her ACL in her first collegiate scrimmage game a year ago. Missed all of last year. We wanted to show you that she was back. Well, here's an update. Jency and her college, Jones College, just won the Region 23 championship this past weekend, beating Pearl River. All kind of Louisiana connections on both teams, including, of course, Jency had a couple big kills in that game. I think just under 10 for the match. But if they win next week in Decatur, Alabama, they play Calhoun College. They're off to the JUCO Division II National Championship, which takes place in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. So good luck to Jency and company, but let's go ahead and take a look at the final points of the regional championship. Local, family-owned H. Worth Elevator Service is the name you should choose when it comes to your commercial or residential elevator needs. We offer elevator installation, repair, and maintenance services. Choose professional elevator contractors in Kenner, licensed and insured. 24/7 emergency services available, warranties available. Backed by over 4 generations of elevator mechanics. Call H. Worth Elevator Service for your elevator needs. Range Fit's premium electrolyte blend elevates the standard in hydration, delivering both incredible taste and powerful effectiveness. Zero sugar or artificial sweeteners. It's the perfect balance of performance and flavor. Go to rangefit.com, use code DIGGIN15 at checkout for 15% off. For all of your insurance needs, call Allstate agent Greg Bravada. Auto, home, life, and retirement, Greg has a plan that's right for you. Allstate agent Greg Bravada, a proud supporter of the area volleyball scene.
What I love about this place and most proud of this place is this community. Take a look around, this place is fantastic. Everything we do here is with passion. What separates White Sands from other places is the vibe. The community, the people, everyone here is family. See you on the sand at White Sands Seeker Sandbar.
Welcome back to Digging It with Derek Richey. It's time to go from the courts to the sand. That's right, beach volleyball, brought to you by White Sands Volleyball Complex and Seegers Sandbar. We have gone to several tournaments already this season, and think about it, this is the preseason. This is the fall. The college beach volleyball season doesn't start until next February, goes into the spring, but it's only a couple months, a short period of time. The NCAA really threw beach volleyball a bone, if you will, by expanding the fall tournament. The AVCA Pairs Championship is next weekend in Huntsville, Alabama. There have been tournaments all over the place to not only qualify for the Pairs Championship, but to get all of these players some juice, get them some competition. As you saw, some players are playing 3 matches a day on Saturdays and Sundays the past couple of weeks, and there's a lot more to get to. So we wanted to just kind of give you a little montage of some of the college coaches we've talked to over the past month and get their feel on what they think of fall beach volleyball and what they're trying to accomplish on the sand.
The fall for us there's a great addition and growth for the sport within the fall season. There's the fall championship, the Pairs Championship by the AVCA every fall now, which we're looking forward to. We have 1 bid and we're working to earn our 2nd bid in the qualifications. Aside from that, our fall, like I mentioned before, fantastic opportunity for us to grow as a team, grow the trust, grow the respect for each other, look for some potential chemistry matchups for us, and definitely work on their communication and the lingo that means one word, hopefully means a ton for us in the spring.
The goal coming into this weekend is we wanted to make sure that all of our priority was on getting better, to improve, and then obviously to get a bunch of wins and play well.
I hate when people say it's just the fall. You're winning, you're playing a competition. You want to put all you have out there, and hopefully it goes your way, and sometimes it doesn't, but that was really cool to see them really want to win those matches today and execute.
Well, and the fall can look very different, in my opinion, than the spring. It does for most teams, right? We're developing our players. Me personally, our team, we have 8 new freshmen, right? We have 5 transfers, 6 returning players. It's a big group that we got to bring together, mold into a team of 1. So the fall is about developing confidence, developing skill level, playing with different players, seeing who can meld together. And then in the spring, we're going to do it all over again. But I love this part because the light bulbs start going off, the light bulb moments, and when we're teaching, about a month from now, probably.
Yeah, obviously it gives us the ability to kind of work through our lineup, pair, some upperclassmen with some lowerclassmen, and really get a good feel for, who's going to mesh. And it just provides that high level competition feeling sooner. So the freshman, you just introduce Giselle. She's doing a fantastic job for us. It just allows them to experience kind of the stress of that environment sooner. So when we get into regular season in February, they're kind of already battle tested, if you were, so they're a little bit more ready for it.
What I love about this place and most proud of this place is this community. Take a look around, this place is fantastic. Everything we do here is with passion. What separates White Sands from other places is the vibe. The community, the people, everyone here is family. See you on the sand at White Sands Seeker Sandbar.
Local, family-owned H. Worth Elevator Service is the name you should choose when it comes to your commercial or residential elevator needs. We offer elevator installation, repair, and maintenance services. Choose professional elevator contractors in Kenner, licensed and insured. 24/7 emergency services available, warranties available. Backed by over 4 generations of elevator mechanics. Call H. Worth Elevator Service for your elevator needs. It's time for some Young MCs. That means milestones and commitments. A milestone for St. Scholastica Junior setter Maya Landclow. She got her 1,000th career assist at the Skeleton Classic this past weekend. Congratulations. Another milestone at the same tournament. It was Hahnville Junior outside hitter Maci Hollingsworth with career kill number 1,000.
just really exciting knowing that I was getting to that point and only being a junior and being able to have that opportunity. It was really exciting, and all my teammates jumping around and jumping on me, doing cartwheels all over the court.
I was so excited for her. She works so hard every single day. She's a process type player where she's constantly working on her game, and to see her accomplish that in her junior year, it's just really exciting. I'm excited she gets to come back.
Knowing the people that we have and knowing the different things that we do, so when things don't always go our way, being able to bring everyone up and being that person that everyone comes to when they need like someone to lean on.
She means so much to our program. She works hard every single day. She's a humble type player that just goes to work, and she gets so many things done. And I think people realize offensively she does a great job, but she also takes more balls than anybody at a serve receive. She has the highest serve receive rating. She probably is one of our leading dig people, so she just does it all. And the way she works, I think also is just really special. She's kind of a quiet leader, but she always leads by example.
Thanks again for watching another edition of Digging It with Derek Richey. Want to thank our guest, Jessica Burke of St. Thomas More, our director, Justin Thomas, and our graphics whiz kid, Emma Richey. Where's her? There it is, right? That shoulder right there. You see her over there in her Mount Carmel, the mini fathead right there. Thanks again. We'll see you at the state tournament. And again, thanks for helping us collectively celebrate the sport of volleyball. Digging It with Derek Richey is brought to you by Range Fit, the hydration your body deserves. White Sands Beach Volleyball Complex and Seeger Sandbar. H-Worth Elevator Service, serving Louisiana and Mississippi. K. Miller Gem and Jewelry, specializing in loose gemstone and fine custom-made jewelry. And by Allstate agent Greg Bravata.